Today, I want to talk about the rise and fall of the Honest Bunch podcast and what we can take away from it. Yes, it's a fall and maybe not a total buying of the Honest Bunch podcast. And because what has happened over the last episode and that is still unfolding is a big fall. I'm telling you, it's a very, very big fall for that platform, for the Honest Bunch podcast platform. A platform that is arguably the biggest podcast or the best podcast in Nigeria. Arguably, I'm not saying they're the best, but arguably the best because of the characters there and what they discuss and stuff. But that last episode with D1 and when they talked about VDM caused a lot of things for that podcast. I want us to go through those things and see what we can take, what we can learn from that situation. The podcast started about 3 or so years ago. I'm not very sure, about 3 years ago or so. And since then, they've been gaining grounds. Notable people have come to the show, and it has just been getting bigger and bigger, better and better for the show until recently, where what happened. And what happened for me, I would say it's something that nobody expected would happen. Just like every other episode, any other day, you come, you talk, they get their views and, everybody feeds on the information and they go. But this time around, a lot of things came out. And I feel from what we've seen or what we've heard, it's not a feel anymore. We know that, a lot of things go behind, happen behind the scenes. Leading up to the podcast, after, and all that. And those things are characteristics of, attitudes when you are up there. When you've reached a certain level, you feel maybe nothing can really happen to you. You can't come down. You can't, nothing can tear you apart or nothing can destroy what you are doing and stuff like that. But we've seen that in the twinkle of an eye, you can go from as high as up there to nothing. So for the show itself, I don't know if it's a total buy-in for the show, if they are going to come back, because I know that they release episodes, I think, every week on Mondays. And today is Monday. I've not seen anything. We don't know if they are coming out with a new episode. We don't know if it's even going to continue, how it's going to continue. We learned that there was supposed to be a UK tour. We don't know if that is still going to hold with Nedu not being in the picture anymore. And a lot of things, a lot of dynamics have changed over these few days. A lot of things have changed over these few days. So what will be the way forward for them and how will it affect them going forward? So with all the things that happened and what I've said before, when you are up there, it matters a lot how you treat people, how you carry yourself, how you relate with people, and how people see you, how people perceive you. You don't just need to have this I don't care, attitude. I don't really give a F attitude because I'm up there. You can't do me nothing. I'm the one that can, SHIT on you, So that is the kind of thing that played out with Nedu. I feel Nedu was up there, in the entertainment world, industry in Nigeria, the social media space and all that. He was up there. Nedu is a big name, Wazobia TV. We worked together, as in he was in radio, I was in TV. The same thing with Husband Material. He was in radio. Husband Material was in TV with myself. I was in TV too. We were colleagues and we had a good relationship and all that. But for Nedu, all those things, people are now coming out to say a lot of things about him. When this whole thing broke, Saida Boch came out. She has put out what happened, what transpired with, after she came to the Honest Bunch podcast last year. She showed her chats with Nedu, how they edited what she said and made it look as if she said something else, which is not ethical, which is really not supposed to be for a platform like that to do. We've heard of what Lucky Udo also said, and he's coming out to open up to VDM and, all that. Then Destalker also with VDM, what he said and all that. So with these three people, then you know that there are a lot of things that have also happened, which we've not heard and which we might not hear. We might still hear some, but that is just to show that when you're up there, just be fair, be at your best, and treat everybody the best you can, because you don't know what might tear you down. That saying that they say that, the same people you meet while climbing up the ladder, you might meet them while coming back down. You understand? For the podcast going forward, I think husband material will do a good job if Nedu is out of the picture. Husband material is a very, very brilliant and intelligent person. He's very talented also. Like I said, I've worked with him before. We were at Wazobia TV together for so many years. He will do a great job, piloting and, driving that podcast. The only thing is that the name, the influence, will it be the same? Will it be the same with like when Nedu was there? Will it be able to, pull the people, the kind of celebrities, the kind of names that, came to the show? Will he be able to pull those people? Will he be able to do the numbers? Like when Nedu was there, will he, maybe they would look for another person to fill in Nedu's shoes. The person that will come, will that person, be able to fill the shoes? Will he have a big foot like Nedu? Will he be able to fill those shoes and all that? So there are a lot of questions that are begging, for answers, and a lot of things that are unknown right now. How is their tour going to be like? All these issues, all these problems, questions, and unknown have been brought to the fore because of somebody's attitude, somebody's way of dealing with people, somebody's way of life. And now everything is now playing back at that person, and that person is a very, very, very important person, important figure, important part of the Honest Bunch podcast. That was why I titled this The Rise and Fall. Yeah, it's a fall, and we don't know if they're going to survive it. Then again, the angle of people, of guests that will be coming to the show. With everything that has happened, with everything that we now know, will they be comfortable, coming to the show, talking about themselves, letting out their secrets, some very vital informations about themselves, and maybe discussions they are going to talk about? Will they even find that platform credible anymore? Will they be willing to come because of all these things that have happened? So it's going to be a really tough one for the podcast to regain that standard and level that they were before this whole thing. But let's see what will happen. Nedu is no more there. Let's see how husband material and maybe somebody else that they'll bring in to fill in Nedu's shoes will handle everything, and the ladies. So let's see how it goes. But my take is this. I've said it before in the course of my talk here, that when you are up there, the way you deal with people matters a lot. The way you handle people, the way you take people, the way you see and regard people matters a lot. If you take people for nothing, a time will come when it will rebound or back on you, and all those things you've been dishing out to people will fall back on you. It's nature. Nature balances out things. So don't shit on people. Don't put people down and think they have no value and think they are nothing, because the way you treat people, no matter who it is, people, you don't know who might be at that position in the future or tomorrow. So the way you treat people generally might in the future determine whether you stay where you are, go up in life, or come back down. So it might be a gate man, it might be a cleaner, a janitor, anybody. That person tomorrow might determine what happens to you. So that's my take. Till I come your way next time, please like, share, follow, and do drop your comments. Doing all this will definitely help make the channel grow. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Silva Squad Channel.